Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this halter neckline with a princess dart bustier. I already have the cutting parts on my channel, so this is the sewing part now. If you are a new subscriber, please do well to subscribe if you find this video helpful, and welcome back if you are an old subscriber. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Please subscribe my page. Thank you as you do so, and God bless you. So from the pattern I cut before, this is the pattern, and I've added half inch allowance on the sides, and the middle, as you can see, is on fold. The middle is on fold, and this is the back pattern. So the zip allowance, I'm not cutting any allowance with it. I have half inch at the upper side, armhole half inch. The sides I have 1.5 inches allowance, and the down part I have half inch allowance there. And I've notched the waistline, as you can see, the dart line, sorry. I notched the dart line, as you can see. So this is the cup part, and I have added half inch allowance all round, and the sides I have 1.5 inches at the sides, but I have half inch at the armhole and every other places. So this is the neckline of the front, and I've cut it on fold. As you can see, it's on fold. I have the lining cuts and the Ankara part. This is the back, and I have half inch added round all round, and the part that there is the zip allowance part, I've not added anything right there because the allowance is already there. So now I'll be cutting the wording to pad it. So this is how I pad my own. For this dress, this is how I'll be padding it. So I'll just match it up to this way, as you can see, and after matching it up that way, I'll just trace it up like this to copy it as if I want to cut out a corset. I'll just bring it up that way, and I'll trace it just as you can see like this. I'll trace it like this, just like so, and I'll use my marker pen to make it visible for you to see. So you can just cut it this way. For this particular outfit, this is how I want to cut out the wording. So I'm just cutting it now, as you can just marking it now, as you can see, and I'm going to cut it out now. Please watch the way I'll be cutting it out now. So right, so I'm already cutting it out, as you can see. I'm just going to cut it out just this way, and I'll cut it at the down part because my wording is going to be getting to the under bust, and I'll open it up just like this, and we have it separate. So I'll be cutting it on the wording now. That is my pattern, and I'll mark it up and down just for me to be able to know it by the time I want to cut it. So I already cut it on the wording now, and you can see what I got. I've cut it on the fabric, and this is what I have. So you can see how I've cut it now. So I'm just going to be joining it now. I'm going to match it up by the sides, both sides, just this way. As you can see, I've pinned it together like this, and I'm going to be joining it with half inch allowance that I've added. Going to join it. Please, if you have added half inch, please make sure that you hold up to half inch so that we don't have a sex allowance or shortage. Make sure that you hold in whatever allowance you have added. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the lining as well. So for the back, I'm just going to be turning it in right from I've notched the waist and the dart line, as you can see. So I'm going to be turning it on this side with half inch. On the armhole, I'll turn it. On the neckline, I'm not going to turn it. On the zipper allowance, I'm going to turn it in with half inch there. On the down part, I'm not going to turn. I'm just going to stitch it down after turning. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side, and I'll be back. So I'm done joining the cup, and you can see, please ensure that you notch all this area for the sake of the beginners that are watching. Ensure that you notch this area properly and place it on the bust arm, just like so. Just notch it up, and I'm going to iron it now to open it up so that we can have a relaxed bust. So I'm going to iron it down now, just like this. So I'm done ironing it now. As you can see that it is now open. So in order to make it more relaxed, I'm going to add my I'm going to add this just as you can see. I'm going to add it and I'm going to iron it down now. It's my stay, my soft stay. So I've ironed it down now just as you can see, and it is how it is looking, all well pressed. So the other side, which is the bust area, you can see how it's looking all well and nice, relaxed. I'm going to iron it down just like this. I'm going to press it down and iron it down just like so. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other side, the other bust area too. So just iron it down and you're going to see what you're going to get. So this is the back part. I'm done turning, and after turning it, you can see the bust part. This is what I have, the front part. So I'm just going to stitch down the lining on the fabric. So I'm going to stitch. I'm not going to turn that side though. I'm just going to stitch. I'm going to turn the armhole, turn the sides with the lining, turn the other side, and turn this armhole area as well. But I'm going to stitch down that place after turning. I'm not going to turn that neckline at all. So this is the back after turning it, and this is what I have, as you can see. I'm just going to place it and place it aside. Now this is the front area after joining it, and you can see I've notched the area. Please ensure that you notch this area so that you can have a relaxed armhole. Please ensure that you notch it so that you can have a relaxed armhole. And now I'm going to be turning to the other side now, and this is what I have after turning it. You can see, so the neckline, I'm just going to be stitching it down. I'm not going to turn it. I'm going to stitch it down with maybe quarter of an inch. So this is the back part, and I'm going to be just notch the waistline. So I'm going to measure it now so that I can know the allowance, the length of the darts. So I've gotten the value that I got there, and I'm going to be marking it on the fabric now. So I'm going to mark it just like so, and I'm going to mark it on a straight line with my straight ruler, just like this. I'm going to mark it just like this, as you can see, so I can have a straight line, and I've ironed it down like this. And after ironing it, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch on both sides. I'm ironing it just as you can see. I'm going to iron it on both sides now. I'm going to mark the 1/2 inch, sorry. So this is what I have after holding my dart. So this is the back side. I'm going to place it aside, and I'm coming back to the neck line. So this is the neckline now, and I'm just going to, this is for the back, and you can see the zipper allowance here, 1/2 inch round, and this is the front part. It's actually on fold. You can actually make use of your fabric. If you have fabric, instead of using lining just like mine, you can make use of the fabric for both the fabric and the lining. So I'm using it just because I want to be able to differentiate. So I'm just going to place it just like this. Just place your lining like this. Place the other part just this way. You can see the way I'm placing it just this way. And ensure that you are placing it properly. Take your time to make sure that you are placing it properly just like this. And I'm going to turn it over. I'm just going to turn it over and stitch it down with 1/2 inch on this side and this side as well. I'm going to turn it with 1/2 inch on that side. You remember that we have the allowance of 1 inch on that part, so I'm going to turn it with 1/2 inch on these sides, just like so. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other side, just like so. I'm going to pin it down so that I can get it 1/2 inch, just like so. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for the Ankara part. This part, I'm going to do the same thing for it, and as you can see, so I've placed it like that, and I'm going to hold it in with 1/2 inch, just like so. So I'm done stitching it now, and I'm done stitching it on the lining as well. So I'm going to place it on each other just this way, as you can see. I'm placing it on each other, as you can see, just like this. and I'm going to pin it down. Please ensure that the joining parts on this part that I'm holding are matching up with the lining and the Ankara. Ensure that they are both matching. Please ensure that they are both matching correctly, and just place it like so. Yes, place it like so, and you can see the allowance, the zipper allowance part. So we have turned it with 1/2 inch, and we have 1 inch left on the zipper. We're going to do the same thing on the back neckline here. I'm going to turn it there with 1/2 inch. So we are going to be having 1 inch left for our zipper allowance, and I'm going to turn it in on this part, on this round part, the small circle. We're going to turn it with 1/2 inch round. Please ensure that you use whatever allowance you have added to turn it in there. So I'm going to leave 1/2 inch here for these parts. By the time you turn it, now ensure that you leave 1/2 inch allowance that you have added, and do not stitch it up onto the down part area like that. Leave 1/2 inch like this. So I'm done with that, and I've ironed it. So this is my front part now. This is the front part. I'm just going to notch the middle, just as you can see, and after notching the middle, I'm going to bring this part here. I'm going to notch the middle as well in order to get the midpoint right there. So I've notched the middle that way, and I'm going to bring the front part, and I'm going to place it on it just like so. This part, the notched area is going to be meeting up with the notched area on the fabric, on the bodice. So I'm going to pin it down just like so, and I'm going to stitch it with my 1/2 inch allowance right from the middle to this side, to wherever it gets to. You can see where it gets to on this part. You're going to join it there with 1/2 inch up onto that part, and I'm going to join it with 1/2 inch on the other side as well, up until wherever it gets to, and I will leave it there. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. Please, if you have any question, do not hesitate to ask me. Join it up onto this part, as you can see. So I'm done joining it now up onto that part, and this is what I have. You can join your lining part first, or your Ankara fabric. Do whatever suits you, please. So place the back part on it like this in order to be able to know the outcome. Place it on the back like that, and pick the zipper allowance on the neckline and the zipper allowance on the bodice, and join it together. Join it together just like so, like this. Join it together, leave out the lining parts, leave it out, hold one part and leave one part out, and you will see the 1/2 inch that you have left. It's going to be easier for you. By the time you do this, you understand what I'm saying. It's going to be easier for you. So you're going to join it up until wherever it gets to. Join it, start from the zipper allowance and join it to wherever it gets to, and leave it right there with your zipper allowance that you have joined it with. Please, I hope you understand. Yes, wherever I get to, just pin it down and join it up onto that side. And whatever you have, join it up onto that side. Then you're still going to have the excess, the 1/2 inch allowance on that side. So this side now, you're going to just do the same thing, repeat the same thing. Pick the zipper allowance of the bodice and the zipper allowance of the neckline, just like this. Place it together just like this, and pick one part and leave one part, in order to have a neat finishing. That is why I'm doing this. If not, I would have just picked it and the two parts of the neckline and just sew it round, but I do not want to make it like that. So just pick it like that and pin it down on this side. That is where it will get to. So you are going to run a stitch through like this, 1/2 inch allowance you're going to use to stitch it down. So this is what I have after stitching it down. You can see what I have right there. This is what it's looking like. So what I'm going to do now is this is the side of the shoulder, the joining part. I'm just going to put the 1/2 inch in on the fabric and the 1/2 inch in on the lining as well. You're just going to fold it out or fold it in. Look at the allowance that I said that you should leave the other time. So it's going to be easy for you to turn it in if you leave that 1/2 inch, just as you can see. So you're just going to put it in 1/2 inch all around from this zipper allowance. You're going to put it round until you get to the other zipper allowance. I hope you understand. Fold it in with your 1/2 inch allowance from this part to the other parts. And after folding it down with your pin, just run a stitch on it all round. Pin it down like this until you get to the other zipper allowance. You're going to pin it from the back to you're going to pin it to the back, from the front, from the back to the front, then to the back again. I hope you understand. So after placing it with your fabric, stitch on it, and you're going to have a perfect neckline, just like that. So ensure that you sew. After this is what I have after I'm done, and I'm done with the neckline. So what I'm going to do now is just to add to hold my zipper allowance with my own 1 inch allowance that I have left, hold it down and fit my clothes. So if you find this helpful, please kindly subscribe, like and share my page. You can see how neatly is looking. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate, and I'll see you on the next one.